Hello everybody, my name is Raccoon Bro, and welcome back to another reaction video. It's time for a death battle! And we are pitting the two greatest minds of Marvel and DC, Lex Luthor and Dr. Doom. Now, I want to address how I reacted to this one back in my Ryuko vs. Shadow video. I was not all that pleased, and you may remember that I basically said it was going to be a wash for Dr. Doom, like he would have no trouble against Lex. And I was, miffed that we're getting another Marvel vs. DC fight, but over the weeks, I have accepted this battle a bit more. I have learned to appreciate the connections, the fact that there's a lot of potential for banter and animation. And I've also realized that it's a lot more debatable than I originally thought. I still think Dr. Doom's going to win, but it's not going to be nearly as much of a stomp as I had originally thought. So, with all that being said, let's get into the mayhem.
Lex Luthor, CEO of LexCorp and nemesis to Superman.
And Dr. Doom, King of Latveria and Doom of the Fantastic Four.
The intellect of these two evildoers is unmatched in their own worlds.
But what happens when the geniuses of these spiteful nerds collide? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
That's a good pose.
In the city.
I will tell you, the thing that I am looking forward to the most with this one is the editing, because I've seen it in the previews and my god, it looks amazing. Like, they've really stepped up their game for comic book episodes, making them look visually interesting.
Metropolis, soaring above all other structures. One can find atop the tallest building an L.
Who's the dickbag that decided to literally hang that L over everyone's head? Just the one and only Lex Luthor.
Born and raised in Smallville, Kansas, Lex's early life was complicated. His father, Lionel, was a scientist doing dubious experiments on Martian.
Wait, did that say what I... Oh, they did it. I was wondering if they were going to use the panel with the 40 cakes from last time. That was a pretty big joke.
His father, Lionel, was a scientist doing dubious experiments on Martian Manhunter.
When the lid was cracked on this evil science operation, asses had to be covered. So Lex and his old man got a convenient memory wipe, reducing Lionel to an alcoholic and setting Lex down a path to get away from his deadbeat dad.
Yikes.
Right there with you, bud.
But because this is comics, that's just Lex's story in one continuity.
In another, he's a mad scientist. In another, he's a self-made billionaire. And in yet another, he was friends with Superboy until Superboy made him bald. No wonder this guy's so cynical.
Regardless of which Lex we're talking about,
that's
he hates
grade A
Superman.
editing.
In his eyes, if Superman continues to exist, humanity will become weak and reliant on him, and ultimately perish. Supposedly.
Ever since Soups flew into town, he's been Lex's undoing.
The fact that they're turning all these panels into transparent PNGs is really damn impressive.
This bad boy comes equipped with loads of goodies. A force field, electroblasts, missiles, a chest laser, and wrist blades for all your Batman shanking needs.
Lex has utilized many different energy sources for his suits, but his newest and greatest is the Mother Box.
They're really taking advantage of their sound effect library.
Technology, with which Lex can create energy beams, repair his suit, and teleport via quantum folding.
So he has mastered the Mother Box.
Suit can survive a planet exploding and lets old Lex go toe-to-toe with Superman himself.
Well, it is questionable if his suit is directly comparable to Superman going all out, especially with his reliance on kryptonite. But Lex has used it to fight with other DC powerhouses.
Like this orange Bugman.
That's the thing that a lot of people talk about.
Basically a one-man Lantern Corps.
Does it really count if you mostly use kryptonite?
Across the universe in under an hour.
Knowing DC has a universe at least 100 trillion light years across, this would require a speed over 5 quintillion times the speed of light.
Or how about the time Green Lantern Kyle Rayner held back the Big Frickin' Bang?
Much of Lex's tech is relegated to the war suit.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
He does have on-hand gadgets too, such as a heat ray, robot replicas called Lexbots, and a special barrier that temporarily turns anything it touches two-dimensional.
It turns you 2D, huh? That sounds like a weeb's wet dream. How does that work?
It's rather simple, actually, by applying higher dimensional physics to a simple 2D grid.
I like that they're using the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie.
We can replicate and place the form of a three-dimensional object into a lower, flattened form that...
Make it stop! Make it stop! Wow, I knew the old squirrel diet was a good idea. Unlike Lex's,
He's got Mr. Game & Watch on us.
Two-dimensional. Sure, he's had his squabbles with Superman, but after Supes died, not when he punched the gray guy when he blew up this punk Denny, he gained a newfound respect for the Man of Steel and took up his mantle. Maybe he isn't the bald psycho everyone thinks he is.
Doubtful. Lex's actions, both good and bad, tend to stem from one thing. He really wants to be Superman himself.
He jelly. It would explain why he made
Peanut
the
butter
Everyman
and jelly.
Project, an experiment meant to turn normies into superhumans.
Unfortunately, Lex's genes were not compatible. He still went through the procedure, but even after some voluntary organ harvesting, he only had 6 months to live.
Wow, Lex really does want to be Superman, even if it kills him.
But if Lex can't be Superman, he might as well make himself the one person that super citizen has to answer to. Which is why Lex decided to, what else? Run for president.
Can you imagine a president who's an evil billionaire and hates aliens? So unrealistic.
Lex was already a nihilist with few real attachments, and became all the worse when he learned he could
I was
neither
wondering
be
if we were gonna
nor
get political
control
on this
Superman.
one.
Take, for example, the time he made a cure for his sister's terminal illness,
Well, that doesn't seem so bad.
and then reinfected her with that same illness seconds later, just to prove he could.
What
the hell?
Never mind. He's
What
able.
the hell, Lex?
Why would anyone work for
Oh
this
my
guy?
gosh.
Lex's outlook on life actually gained a big following. After traveling millions of years into the future, because comics, Lex saw a world where his goals became reality.
Thrown to the moon. Jeez.
Where people quit aspiring to the impossible standards of superheroes, instead embracing who they were deep down. Selfish and greedy animals.
So he literally inspired a philosophy around being the opposite of Superman.
Apparently. Isn't it ironic, though, that even those who chose to follow Lex's ideals called this philosophy doom?
Huh. I guess Lutheran was already taken. Anyways, his fanboys from the future might
I've
consider
studied
it their
Lutheran.
doom, but to Lex, his ideals are everything. And to his credit, they have seen him through some pretty heavy stuff.
God, that is the
Like
most metal
outsmarting
thing
Brainiac,
ever.
Getting tortured by Joker.
And getting shot out of a helicopter by a gorilla. Don't worry, somehow he got better.
He's
Even
fine.
completely stripped of everything, standing before an almighty God, Lex Luthor will continue to defend his ideals. This harbinger of doom is truly beyond comprehension. Or so he says.
Who is it, Superman? Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time.
Gene Hackman, that guy is a treasure.
At first glance, Latveria appears to be a humble nation located in the center of Europe. But within its borders may be the greatest threat the world has ever known.
That threat being the malevolent king, Dr. Doom.
But Doom did not start out as a king. Born as a Romani, Victor Von Doom had a tumultuous childhood. After his mother's soul was taken by the demon Mephisto, and his father died on
By the way,
run from
since
an evil
I've seen
Baron,
all this stuff
Doom
in the
did what any
preview,
mad scientist
it's worth
would do,
noting that I went
began
back and
making
watched
inventions.
Like his
Lex's
own
and
robot
Dr. Doom's
replicas
previous
and Marvel's favorite
episodes on the
retcon
show,
device, the Doombots.
and
That sounds familiar.
The technical
I am
wonders he
hoping
made,
that
while
Dr.
also
Doom
scamming people,
gets a better
were
episode.
So great,
I like
Empire
the
State
Darth Vader
University
one,
offered
but I
him a
mean, you know,
scholarship.
And so
it could-
began a good old
it
college
it
try
has
by
a lot.
Doom.
There,
leaves a
Doom
lot to be
built a
desired,
device to communicate
and
with his
Iron
mother
Man vs.
in
Lex
the
is
underworld.
fucking fantastic,
because
but
of a miscalculation
we,
that may
I
or
think
may not
Lex
be thanks to
Luthor
the
was,
thing, it
his
blew up in his
representation
face.
was kind of
Literally.
the low point
It's
of
okay,
that.
though. After
but-
the explosion gave him a nasty
Hey,
scar, Doom ventured to Tibet.
looks like they're
where
giving
some
him a lot
monks
more
did him
credit this
solid and
time,
helped
so
him
we'll just
build
have
a
to
suit
see.
of armor.
Made from a mastery of science and mysticism, Doom's titanium armor goes beyond the wonders of ordinary technology and into the absurd.
It's the Swiss Army knife of power armors, complete with electrical blast, a device that scrambles brain neurons, and a laser staff that doubles as a technovirus.
At full power, the suit can break through an adamantine coffin, and allegedly contains pieces of
Like,
the
these
cross
sound
that
effects
Jesus
are
Christ
doing a
himself
really
was
good job
crucified
of
on.
just
immersing
in case
me.
a pesky Dracula comes
Is
your
that
way,
actually
which he did.
It really made me
With
feel
this
like
suit,
he was
Doom
breaking out
easily
of that,
conquered Latveria and
that
overthrew
chamber.
the Baron who gave him so much trouble years back. Aha! Take that, asshole!
Seeing how prosperous his rule was, Doom thought if he could make Latveria better by conquering it, why not make the whole world better by conquering it?
Well, I mean,
What
a
could
paper
possibly
god
go
did
wrong?
say he should. Too bad he was always stopped by the Fantastic Four.
And their leader, Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic.
To put it lightly, Doom frickin' hates him. One time, when Doom was being pulled into hell, rather than try to escape eternal torment, all he wanted to do was burn and scar Reed's face.
To Doom, Reed Richards is a man of unquenchable vanity and unmitigated arrogance, consumed by his own ego at the cost of everyone around him.
Yeah, I think Doom might be projecting a bit
Dr.
there.
Doom does as he
Though he has
pleases.
failed many times to conquer the world, Doom certainly has the arsenal to do so.
Antimatter guns, bombs that transmute things to chrome, a molecular expander that turns tiny particles into boulders, and time shift bombs that'll send you several seconds into the past.
But his
Oh
most
boy.
interesting gadget
We gotta get
is
time
the
travel shenanigans in
power
this one.
siphon. While not particularly fashionable, at least before he implemented it into his suit, the siphon has absorbed and stolen the powers of numerous cosmic entities.
You might be asking, if Doom has
Thought I
all these
needed to
gadgets,
sneeze.
why doesn't he use them
Glad
more
I didn't.
often? Well, in his own words, Doom's reasons are his own. Do not question them.
But
I
Doom
won't.
is more than just a scientist. He's also a magician. In fact, a contender for Sorcerer Supreme. As such, he can employ all manner of magic spells. Barriers, teleportation, mystical energy blasts, etc.
And if he ever wants to Freaky Friday a foe, he can use a mind swap technique he took from the Ovoids to switch bodies.
Like this.
Oh, how do you walk with these scrawny legs? This one isn't even a gun.
Nah.
Why are there 6 of you?
Oh,
Am I
yeah,
drunk? Dummy!
he's not used to all the
Change us
beer.
back.
It should come in.
I'm a little disappointed that they switched the voices. I prefer it the Team 4-star way where they actually do an impression of each other, but yeah, whatever.
It's no surprise that a
I just think it's more
nerd like
fun
Doom
that
has
way.
taken on some of Marvel's toughest heroes.
He's faster than Reed Richards, who reacted to interstellar beams fired by Galactus, and has even deflected Thor's hammer.
The same hammer that flew Thor across the universe in seconds.
Knowing Marvel's universe has a diameter of at least 1 trillion light years, Mjolnir must have been moving over 2 quintillion times the speed of light.
And that's not even getting into Doom's battles with the Green Universe Clapper, the Hulk.
Or the no-holds-barred punch he took from Sentry with only 7% of his suit's power left.
With so much tech and magic, it's a wonder Doom
I'm not
never
even at
loses.
100%
Well,
of my
for
power.
all his achievements, Doom does have one insurmountable weakness.
His ego?
Squirrels.
Oh, never mind.
I knew it! Nobody's a match for those little bastards but me.
For every one I fling away, a dozen more affects me. Wow.
But hey, as long as he stays on Bucktooth's good side, he should be alright.
He also has a bad habit of just losing godlike power at the worst of times.
Like when his control over the Power Cosmic was taken by a plot-convenient cosmic energy-stealing super airplane.
Still,
Oh.
Doom persevered and became the
I hate when that
god emperor
happens.
of everything. Until Mr. Fantastic stole his powers away.
Oh boy, if Doom already hated Reed, what did he think of him after that?
Surprisingly, Doom's time as a god caused an epiphany of sorts. He looked back on his actions, his ego finally shattered, and in his reflection was left with a desire to fix his ways.
Aw.
So he took up the role of Iron Man of all people. Stop being so world
Ain't that ironic.
Guy.
Just for a little bit, don't worry, he was back to being a maniacal would-be conqueror soon enough.
Yay!
Comic book status quo.
It seems a literal multiverse-scale intervention couldn't keep Doom from being Doom.
Your plan to destroy them has failed, Master. Failed.
I see they decided to use the same clip.
Dr. Doom does not fail.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot closer than I thought it would be, but I'm still gonna go with Dr. Doom on this one because it seems like he has a lot more magic abilities than Lex, and it'll help him keep up with his crazy Superman feats. Just a bunch of stuff that Lex doesn't really have a counter for. So kind of like Ghost Rider versus Lobo, one's clearly physically superior, but the other has so many hacks at his disposal that it becomes hard, that those advantages are kind of negligible. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dr. Doom. Let's see what we got. Also, it's very nice to see Gianni back. It's been a while.
Visitor.
Mr. Luthor, your company.
And the fact of the matter is, every episode that Stephen Kelly is in is either a 9 or a 10 for me, so that gives me high hopes for this one. So he's playing Dr. Doom.
For the people of Latveria. I will be seizing them.
Are they 40 cakes?
Latveria. What an exquisite place to start a corporatocracy.
You wretch!
Pathetic.
Oh. Hello.
A mechanical replica.
It's called a Lex bot, you knuckle-dragging buffoon.
Its design is rather ingenious. Not as ingenious as mine, of course.
Let's hope this is another situation where Lex is fighting Dr. Doom. Lex is just fighting a Doom bot the entire time, and then after it's revealed, he shit stomps him. Because that was something I did not appreciate in the Darth Vader one.
But enough talk. Let us end these charades.
With pleasure.
Here we go. Fight! Oh!
Confounded contraption.
Two-dimensional morphographic technology. I haven't perfected it, but it's more than enough to exterminate an imbecile like you.
Uh-oh. Time, huh?
An imbecile like you. What?
Fool! You fell for my time shift bomb.
Oldest trick in the book.
Footdive!
Oh no, here it comes.
Footdive!
The bane of every Marvel vs. Capcom player's existence. Hell yeah. That's what he said against Darth Vader. You say so many. We're getting a lot of callbacks to Vader versus Doom. I like that.
Impossible!
Impossible? That word has
I
no
am
meaning
the
for someone
impossible.
like me. What about you?
That box. It's marvelous. And wasted on your incompetence.
We got Master Hand.
Pitiful. What kind of a man are you?
What? He could just do that? Oh, okay. Like, I must have missed that. Oh man.
Superman.
Okay, I'm really liking how back and forth this is. I don't know where this is going. Gotta always reference Man of Steel. Every time.
Still hiding behind this hideous mask, Tin Man? Let's show your true face the light of day!
Oh. Oh no.
Don't you see it? That mask is my true face.
Oh my gosh! Oh no! Oh my god! Whoa! 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 Oh, that was...
It's like that of the gods. Beneath me.
Oh my god, that death was awesome! Oh, poor Lex fans, but oh my god, that was so good!
KO! I've heard of handing someone the L, but never pinning him to it.
Having a
Very fitting.
slight speed advantage and a stronger suit by most measures, Lex was able to hold his own with Doom for a time.
And sure, Lex could counter some of Doom's arsenal, but he couldn't defend against being transmuted to chrome, being blasted with antimatter,
Yeah.
or getting his nerves scrambled from the inside.
What's more, Lex's
Whoa.
mind has been swapped before.
That was trippy.
Once with Superman, funnily enough.
Meaning if things got desperate, there was nothing to stop Doom from
It has worked on characters with mental resistances like Lex. Oh, it's a transference of the mind rather than an attack or infiltration.
pulling a Captain Ginyu on Lex and swapping their minds.
Lex's mother box was certainly a powerful device, but he never quite mastered all of its potential. Not to mention, Doom's ace in the hole, the cosmic power siphon, has drained and stolen similar energy sources time and time again.
Galactus, Silver Surfer, and even the friggin' Beyonder. Yeah, I know, this mulleted doofus doesn't look like much, but he apparently has millions of times the power of the entire Marvel multiverse. And the siphon took all of it!
God
There's
damn.
no way the Mother Box could stand up to a device like that.
Thus, it was only a question of if Doom could bide his time before turning the tables on Lex.
Oh yeah, the Everman Project. I forgot about that.
And given all the beatdowns he's survived from Marvel heavy hitters like Hulk and Sentry, I'd say Doom had that time.
Lex's tech was an impressive challenge that had the stats to contend with Doom, but against Doom's bewildering gadgets, magical trickery, and power-stealing siphon, the advantage was in the Doctor's court.
The King of Latveria claimed his victory. Hopefully Lex isn't a sore Luthor.
The winner is Dr. Doom.
Boomstick, you okay? Sounds like you got a lisp.
Thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle. Come back next week to see
All
previews
right.
of our upcoming matchups. If you want to watch more stuff,
right,
you
who
can
we
click
got
the boxes
next?
right around here, and you can always pick up some DB merch at store.roosterteeth.com.
Ah, nice. I was wondering when they would do this one. I'm not a King of Fighters or a Tekken kind of guy, but I have been hoping that they would do this one eventually because I know it's a very fitting fight. It feels like everyone I ask, they say a different person wins. So, hey, yeah, this will be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to it. But this one, oh, damn, that was okay. Yeah, that was a lot better than I thought it would be. Well, I knew it was gonna be good, but considering I wasn't that excited about it, I'm happy that it was as good as it was. I mean, the editing, top notch. Really glad that they're going all out with the comic book fights this year, and that sprite work was really damn interesting because they took so many of their gadgets and abilities and displayed them here, and I'm very happy about that. It felt like they were constantly going back and forth with all these different devices and techniques. The 2D trap and the bomb that sends you several seconds back. It was really cool seeing all that being utilized. This was definitely a hacks versus hacks kind of battle, but Doom just happened to have way more hacks on his side. And with that being said, I feel like this episode did a much better job of representing both characters than their previous episodes did. I still think Iron Man vs. Lex is really freaking awesome. I mean, that entire I've been playing human sequence is still one of the coolest moments in Death Battle, but let's be honest, Lex was not really given a whole lot of justice in that fight. I mean, they've barely scraped the surface of what he has at his disposal, and in fact, a lot of my friends say that he probably should have won, but I'm still happy with the way it is. That being said, I'm really happy that he was given justice in this one, and it was great to hear Gianni once again. I feel like his voice has improved tremendously since last time, and Stephen Kelly is a treasure as always. Great to hear him hamming it up, just like he did in Ganondorf versus Dracula. And yeah, I was not expecting that death to be so incredible. All of my friends and we were thinking, oh, it's probably just gonna be another incineration or explosion, but no, man, they went all out. I'm hoping we get more deaths like that, because it's mostly just been, so far it's only been explosions, and it's hard to make those exciting when there's so many of them. But yeah, Lex versus Doom. I'll have to watch it a couple more times to rate it, but I'll wait till the end of the season to get my ratings, and also I'll also wait until you know, that video is out that you guys keep asking about. You know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all liked the video as much as I did, and be sure to stay tuned for the next video. Take care.